everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Dariush. I'm the product manager for Google's Contact Center AI. We have a jam-packed agenda for you today, including a set of live demos. I will kind of give you a heads up that in these demos, we will be making live phone calls between people who are on stage, kind of two people who also might be on stage. So you will hear some feedback. The audio may not be perfect, but we just wanted to prove it to you that this thing is live. Most of the presentation today will be presented by our partners. So just as soon as I tell you a little bit about what Contact Center AI is and what is it good for, we will hear from Brian. Brian is the Senior Director of Product Management at Vonage. And he and his colleague, Oliver, who is sitting actually in that corner of the room. Oliver, can you stand up real quick? All right. These folks are actually going to provide you a live demo of Vonage's Neximo. After that, we will have Todd Famous on stage. Todd is the Director of Products for all Cisco's Contact Center products. And after that, Al Cook and his team will take the stage. Al is the head of Twilio Flex. And rumor has it these guys are going to do some live coding on stage. So looking forward to it. But before I jump into Contact Center AI, let me tell you a little bit about the effort and where it started. Contact Center AI is part of a larger effort at Google called Cloud AI. In Cloud AI, our efforts are divided into three categories. First one is our AI platform. In this category, we help machine learning engineers and data scientists to run their ML workloads and analytics workloads, either on the cloud using our cloud machine learning engine, or in a hybrid or even on-prem environment using Kubeflow. The second category is all about pre-trained models and APIs around them. So we have models for speech transcription, text-to-speech, natural language, with a very straightforward and simple APIs around it that you can just consume those. If you have your own labeled data and you are interested in customizing those APIs for your own use, you can use our AutoML technology, just like it was announced in the keynote on Tuesday about AutoML translation and AutoML natural language, to create a customized model just for your workloads. The third bucket is about AI solutions. In this bucket, we will get the existing pre-trained models and APIs, create new pre-trained models and APIs, package them in a contained solution to actually address a set of very specific use cases. And Contact Center AI is one of the early solutions that we have built in this bucket. So how did we get there? We talked to a lot of customers and a lot of partners and started by asking them, hey, tell us about the pain points that people have when they're calling a contact center. And they told us a bunch of pain points. We think they all fall into one of these three categories. First one is the deep and complex IVR. Press 1 to go left. Press 2 to go sharp right. Press 3 to go slightly right. We haven't found anyone who actually enjoyed that experience. So unanimously, everyone actually hated that experience. But after you actually press 2 7 times, and you press 3 5 times, and along the way, you actually provide your account number about 2 or 3 times to the IVR system, and you finally get to a live agent, the first thing that they ask you is, can I have your account number, please? The context of what you have provided the IVR at times is missing when you're actually getting to a live agent, and that creates a lot of frustration. Now, when you have actually now provided your account number for the nth time to the agent, what the agent tells you, can I put you on hold for a minute? And they play some music for you while they are on the side kind of frantically searching for the answer to your question. This creates a very poor experience for the caller. Actually, it also creates a fairly poor experience for the agent as well. In our discussion with our partners and our customers, we have figured out that it costs up to as high as $15 to even answer a live call anytime that you actually call a contact center. And again, the agent's desktop is a very busy place. There is CRM, there is soft phone, there is a contact center products, there is the search stuff. All of that causes 30%, roughly about 30% of the contact center agents to actually churn every year. This makes it very expensive to operate a contact center. And this is why we set about figuring out how AI can actually help make the experience of contact center better for the caller and for the agent. The contact center AI has 3 pieces to it. The first one is our virtual agent based on Dialogflow Enterprise. In addition to allowing you to automate informational and common transactional cases, Dialogflow allows you to streamline, even eliminate the IVR tree. Instead of push 1 for X, push 2 for Y, you can just replace that with a simple, hello, I'm an automated agent. How can I help you today? We have added the ability to move the call from an automated agent to a live agent in our system as well. And the context between whatever the conversation was with the virtual agent gets passed to the live agent. Speaking of the live agent, we have built a new product called Agent Assist. Agent Assist, as its name implies, assists the agent by monitoring the conversation between the caller and the agent, figures out what the question is that the caller is actually asking, goes and searches the knowledge base, and finds a precise answer or an article that includes the answer and brings it to the agent in real time, without the agent needing to actually go and search for it. And the third piece is our conversational topic modeling and topic discovery, which I will talk about a little bit more in detail in just a second. But basically, what Contact Center AI does is that it manages the session between the contact center application, between the contact center provider, and the AI system. It is backed by our knowledge service. You can create the same knowledge. You can add the same knowledge articles to one or more knowledge bases and make sure that that actually backs both the virtual agent Dialogflow as well as the Agent Assist. Our topic modeling and topic discovery system is our initial product in our contact center analytics suite. And you will hear a lot more from us in that category in the weeks and months to come. But the topic discovery service works like this. Think of it as a black box that you feed into it your call logs and your chat logs. The topic modeling system stripes all the PII away, clusters the calls into relevant topics, and for each topic, it will tell you what were the keywords that your callers used to actually articulate those topics, what were the top sentences they used, and all of those things. And by the way, when I say caller, I both mean audio and telephony, as well as text and chat. So whatever that I have described so far works both for chat-based sessions as well as audio-based sessions. Contact Center AI is available in alpha exclusively through our partners, including our SI partners. If you are interested in it, I have a link that comes up in just a few seconds. Please go in there, express your interest. We have a limited number of additional alpha customers and partners that we can support. So the sooner you can let us know you are interested, the better it is. Before I get out of your way, a shameless plug for some related sessions that we have. I believe all of these sessions have already occurred. So once you got your hands on the videos and you were trying to actually sort them and see which ones to actually watch first, these would be the ones that you actually want to sort on the top of the list. And this is that link that I promised. Please go to cloud.google.com/solutions/contact-center, solutions/contact-center. you will see a lot of content and a lot of explanation of what these three moving parts are. But the button that you're looking for is at the bottom of that page. It is colored in blue. You click on it. It's a form. You fill it out, and then we'll go from there. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brian.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Brian. Oliver, my partner in crime back there, is going to be the agent on the demo we'll be doing. For those of you who don't know Vonage or haven't heard about everything that we're doing now, so we're a business communications technology company. We provide unified communications as a service, so really SaaS-based communications for the business. We also have a programmable communications platform, Nexmo, which is our API platform. And then, of course, one of the things that I really focus on is how do we integrate all those with third-party applications and partners like Google to get the most out of everything we can offer. So over the last number of months, we brought forward a lot of new capabilities that really can help enhance the contact center space. Both our packaged application, CX1, which is our contact center solution, as well as a number of programmable enhancements. So our open source communications router, split recording on our voice API, and a number of others. So the next step for me as I really looked at this was, how do I take all the great tools that we have and start to integrate them with partners and bring all the great components that they have, deliver a really differentiating solution? And that's when we really started looking at contact center AI. What I knew right away is I wanted to offer a product that we could use our voice API, our open source comm routing, to really bring forward programmability and integrate it with Dialogflow and CCAI. Give a helping hand to the developers to get started on it. But at the same time, I wanted to create it as an overlay to our SaaS-based products. How do we bring those SaaS-based products and offer differentiation and be able to really advance AI and really support the contact center quickly, but giving them the opportunity to customize, so giving the choice on how to use it. We're really lucky in that we were able to partner with American Financing, who's one of our SaaS communications partners, who use both our contact center and our UCaaS solution. We were able to work with them to define the product, really understand what their business challenges were, and start to craft use cases on how we can benefit both their customers as well as their agents, using all this technology together. And that's really a great way to define a product, is to start with real live data, real live use cases. So I want to thank Dwayne, I want to thank Damien and Susan from American Financing. Some are in the audience today for really working with us. I really believe this solution is going to help improve their customer experience. So let's talk a little bit about the business challenges that we set out. So the first, we know American Financing prides themselves on excellent customer experience. So we wanted to ensure and improve that we could route questions and communications from the customer to the right resource at the right time. So whether that's a live agent, whether it's self-help information, loan status, or setting up an appointment. The second is they have extremely trained agents during business hours to answer all these hard questions about refinancing, mortgage, et cetera. But after hours, when they're closed, they go to third-party agents who don't have all the education or the tools to really service those customers. So how can we find ways to improve that experience for customers calling in after hours? So the way we mapped it out, the products we used, we took our voice API coupled with our communications router to be able to accept that phone call and then route it to, whether it be a virtual agent, a live agent, based upon time of day, the skills coming in, what we know about that customer. we're also dipping into a CRM to bring contextual information up to help us with that routing. So then we're able to pass it to a virtual agent. So using Dialogflow, using Contact Center AI, which is dipping into the knowledge base of American financing to suggest answers back in natural language. If we have to go to a customer, or we have to go to a live agent, then we're able to pass it back to the skills-based router using information from the virtual agent, using information from the CRM to get it to that right agent. And then we arm those agents, especially the after-hours ones, with that agent assist, giving live transcription, both what was said to the virtual agent and what was said as the ongoing conversation. And then finally, we give the suggested answers, dynamically updating the more the agent talks. And that's part of, we're going to show you in the demo, and we're going to do this live, so fingers crossed. So I'll leave it on that, but we're going to do the demo now. And so can we switch over to, there we go. So this is a view of our, the building block for the call assistant, for the agent assistant. But we're going to start out with talking to a virtual agent.
Hi, Brian Stokes. Thank you for calling American Financing. I am an automated bot. How can I help you today?
Hi, how long does it take to refinance?
Time varies based on lender and how quickly you submit documentation. At American Financing, we are proud to have helped many borrowers close in as fast as 10 days. I can see you called in on July 17, 2018 at 1:43 p.m. about a home in New York. You can ask me another question about home or ask to speak to a customer service representative.
Can I talk to someone?
I'm sorry, can you try again?
Can I talk to someone?
Great. I'm going to hand you over to a customer service representative now.
Hi, it's a great day at American Financing. My name's Oliver. I see you're looking at refinancing. How can I help you today?
Hi, yes. Hi, Oliver. We were talking about refinancing, but I also want to pay off some of my bills.
You mean get cash out of your home equity when you want to refinance?
Yeah, I want to get some cash out so I can pay off my credit cards as well.
Sure. What you need to do when talking to a mortgage consultant is ask for a refinance deal. You can take money out of your home equity and pay off your debt, credit card bills. Can I set you up a meeting with a mortgage consultant? I just need a little more information.
Sure. Thank you very much, Oliver. That would be great. So, and of course, as soon as I hang up, it clears and it's ready for the next call. But what you saw up there was as the call came in, after I met with the virtual agent, it sent that information over to Oliver there. And since we're in the same room, you got a little static. But as it was going, and the more questions he asked, you started to see an answer rise up, give it a high score, and then he was able to respond back to me with that. So, and I guess we can go back to the presentation. So really to close out, when you think about the value that you can get by adding that contextual information, providing it to an agent, whether they're trained or not trained to answer those questions, is going to help improve time to resolution, average handle time, but also help increase CSAT. And that's really what you want when you're in that contact center space. On a side note, I practiced this with Oliver so many times over the last few weeks. My colleagues wanted to know what I had bought on my credit cards to pay, that I needed to refinance my house to pay off. But it gave us an open conversation. I got to show them what we were working on, so that was good. So just to end, thank you very much. I think for Vonage and Nexmo together, our goal is to give these different solutions, whether it's programmable or SaaS-based solutions, to be able to work together and build those differentiating products. And Todd? There you go.
Good morning, almost afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Google Next. This is my first time here at Google Next. My name is Todd Famous, and I lead the contact center product team at Cisco, so I'm responsible for the Cisco Contact Center portfolio. And I've been with Cisco since the beginning, since we entered the market in 2001 with the first enterprise-class IPACD. And I've ridden that whole ride as we transitioned from telecom into IP-based systems and software-driven contact center platforms. And I'm as excited about the transition we're about to begin as we move to AI-powered contact center systems. And I'm glad to be here and share the Cisco story and what we're doing with Google. So Cisco is a large vendor in this space. I'm going to click ahead. Oops, wrong button. Need the button training. There we go. So we have about 3 million contact center agents in the world. We're the market leader in North America. So for those of you in the room, think about it this way. About 1 out of 3 times when you call a contact center, you're reaching an agent who's logged in to Cisco Contact Center software. That's about 30,000 customers globally. And we go to market through partners. So there are resellers who carry the Cisco Contact Center products. There are about 1,500 global resellers of Cisco Contact Center. And they provide services and expertise around how to implement contact centers. And they allow us to scale and deliver integrated and customized solutions. So let's talk about the Cisco Contact Center portfolio. We have sort of our premises products, Contact Center Express, which is targeted at the mid-market. So that scales from several to up to 400 contact center agents. And then our flagship product is Contact Center Enterprise, which is deployed in some of the largest contact centers in the world. These systems have been in market now for more than 15 years, and they're market leading in their categories. They're on-prem. So our cloud transition, which is well underway, is to develop cloud services and deliver features at cloud speed to all of our platforms, including our on-prem solutions. So we have a hybrid architecture that allows us to develop cloud services and then render those cloud features inside of our contact center products. And that's going to come into play in what we're doing here with Google. We have a hosted version of our enterprise product, which we call Hosted Collaboration Service for Contact Center. And that's available through service providers. It's the same technology as our enterprise product, but it's run by the service providers and offered to customers on a monthly basis, generally. And then we have our newest platform, which is our Customer Journey Platform. That's a Cisco Contact Center as a service, so it's our direct provided cloud contact center offer. And sort of that rounds out the portfolio. As I mentioned, we're building common cloud services that work across all these platforms. We introduced a service, our first service called Contact Service, a few years back, and it provides context around customers. It maintains customer profiles, and so it makes all of these solutions smarter because they have history and profiling on customers when they call the contact center, so they don't have to repeat the account number, as Dariush did in his opening. We also provide messaging services and Webchat services from the cloud. We actually partnered with API.ai, and then before they were part of Cisco. And we have a dialog flow integration that's part of our Webchat framework. And then today we're going to talk about our AI strategy and connected AI and how that fits into the portfolio. So we believe that AI will change every component of how the contact center works. I would describe that as impacting every part of the customer journey. So in self-service, and we see a lot of activity around chatbots here today, where we're automating a better self-service experience than the traditional IVR. We also believe, and we have a very powerful routing platform. It's called Precision Routing is our technology in our enterprise product. Very powerful, but also sophisticated and complex to maintain, if you will. And we believe that AI technology will allow us to develop new generation routing technology that will automate and simplify the process of setting up the contact center routing. A large part of that will be based on data. So basically, in our architecture and in our cloud services, we're organizing data in a way to build actionable insights and also inform our routing architecture. And this will get better and faster over time. Today, we're going to talk about real-time agent help. And this is the contact center agent assist feature that Dariusz talked about. We've implemented that, and that will be available to all of our customers. So we have a product called Finesse, and I'll show it to you in a moment. But basically, it's the contact center agent desktop for our portfolio. It is a browser-based agent desktop, but it runs on the premises. So the server, the web server, if you will, is running on the premises. But the components in that desktop can come from the cloud. And that's how we've implemented the contact center agent assist feature as a component that runs from the cloud, but then shows up inside of that agent desktop. And it will provide real-time agent assistance. It's part of our portfolio. We're going to deliver that desktop capability to all of our customers. So that means that all 3 million contact center agents will have the possibility of procuring and implementing this contact center AI service. So we're very excited about the possible impact of this service. And of course, it's powered by Google. I think our demo laptop isn't up, but we are going to, if we could just show it, I will give you a picture of what we're going to look like. We actually have this running down in our booth. We've been showing it all week, and I encourage you to go down there to take a look at it. This is the contact center agent desktop Finesse that I mentioned. So the look and feel of Finesse is different for all of our customers. So if you go and look at a Cisco Contact Center, the agent desktop may appear differently, but because it's a REST API framework from top to bottom, and our customers and our partners generally customize it. But it is a browser-based experience that looks different, and then again, it contains components that could be serviced from the cloud. In the case of Webchat, so this is actually this is a Contact Center Express system. With Webchat, it shows up as a gadget inside of that agent desktop, and that's that middle portion. And as the customers are having conversations, suggestions, and we have it labeled here, the answer service, are provided and powered by the Google AI Contact Center API. One of our customers that's doing this, we have a number of customers that are planning to implement this feature. One of our customers is Presidio. They're a global technology supplier. Many of you may know of Presidio. They offer technical support in their contact center. Of course, that's an area where there's a lot of complexity in terms of what the agents need to be aware of and the resources that they use to do their job. So as agents are doing customer support and chat support with Presidio, the answer service will suggest knowledge articles from the system. Again, we don't have this running on this laptop right here, but you can come down to the demo and you can see that. If we could go back to the deck for a moment. The other chart, yeah. Okay, so just to summarize, the Cisco Contact Center portfolio will all be powered with this Contact Center AI capability. We're excited about the possibility of AI and bringing that next transition to contact center. This capability is available today as a pilot, so we are actually interested in pilot customers. So if you have Cisco Contact Center technology or you're interested in Cisco Contact Center technology, please reach out to us. We have an email address here, cc.cloud@cisco.com, or come down to the booth and talk to us, and we can actually show you how this would fit into your environment. So with that, thank you for your time today, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Great. Thanks, Todd. As Dariusz said, my name is Al Cook, and I run product management, design, and engineering for Twilio Flex. And I'm joined here by my colleague, Patrick, who runs product marketing for Twilio Flex at Twilio. So at Twilio, we like to do things maybe a little differently, maybe sometimes a little bit dangerously. So we thought rather than showing you a pre-canned integration between a contact center and Google Contact Center AI, we thought we would live code something on stage and live code an integration and show you not just how a vendor can do it, but how any developer can integrate a programmable contact center application platform like Twilio Flex with Google Contact Center AI. Lots of opportunity for things to break. Before we do that, I thought I'd just spend a minute or two for folks who don't know Twilio or don't know Twilio Flex, just so you've got some context. So Twilio is a cloud communications platform. We focus on developers, and we focus on how do we give you APIs to embed voice or video or chat or text messaging into your application. We have about 2 million developers on the platform today. And if you filter them down to folks doing really large use cases with us, there's about 50,000 different businesses doing different things with Twilio, all sorts of different use cases. And we have numbers in over 100 different countries. So you can really build a truly global application on top of Twilio. Now, we've had folks building contact centers on top of Twilio for years and years and years. SaaS-based contact centers like Zendesk Talk, or Salesforce, or Serenova, or New Voice Media, TalkDesk, or enterprises building their own contact center, folks like ING, or Liberty Mutual, or Zillow. And what we've seen over and over again is people are building contact centers on top of APIs because the current way of consuming a contact center from a premise-based contact center doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't work because your choices right now are, if you're an enterprise looking for a contact center, you can go choose a premise-based contact center, which is customizable, kind of. If you throw enough professional services at it, you can bludgeon the thing into submission eventually, maybe. And you can scale it as long as you're willing to pay for that scale up front and you have enough money. Or, of course, you can go to a SaaS-based contact center, which isn't really focused around customizations. It doesn't tend to work for when you need that level of change. Or if you really like a challenge, you can go for a hybrid solution, and you can mix and match your preferred drawbacks from both sides of this diagram. And so we saw this, and we saw people over and over again looking for a better way. And so Twilio Flex is a different solution. It is not a premise-based contact center, nor is it a SaaS contact center, nor is it a collection of APIs. This is not a build versus buy decision. This is something different that does not exist anywhere else. This is a programmable application platform. It works out of the box. You can deploy Twilio Flex in less than 10 seconds that supports 15 channels for your agents, has supervisor, has workforce optimization, has administration. Less than 10 seconds. You don't need to write a single line of code. But you can customize it to the absolute core. You can change anything, absolutely any pixel in the UI, anything about the routing, and it is built to scale. We support up to 50,000 agents per department. And this isn't 50,000 agents like you can shard it by deploying many boxes of hardware. This is 50,000 agents in one single department. And you can pay for it in a very flexible way. You can pay per agent per month, or you can pay per active user hour. Very simple pricing, very elastic pricing. And so when we think about a contact center application platform, we think, how do we give you complete control? So when you get to something like this, when you want to integrate something like Google Contact Center AI into your contact center, you are not beholden to your vendor to do that. So as I've been designing Flex over the last few years, I've thought, a philosophy of how do we build something where there is no decision that I or any of my product management team ever make that you cannot fundamentally disagree with, you cannot tear apart, you cannot rip out. And we do that by building this in a platform way. So Flex is built on a series of different layers. So you can use all of our channels. It supports voice and video and text messaging and picture messaging and fax messaging and chat and Twitter and Facebook and many other social channels that I can't quite share right now, but we'll be able to in a day or two, and screen sharing and co-browsing and email, many, many other channels, but you can also bring your own channels. You can take our routing, and you can take very simple routing, or you can use the attribute routing engine to get very, very complex, very granular, add in your own machine learning, whatever you want to do. There's a drag and drop visual editor for folks who don't want to write code to make changes. And most uniquely in what we want to show you in the live coding today, the entire user interface works out of the box, but it is programmable. It is all built in React. You can consume all of the different React components. You can get all of the event and all of the data from the Redux store. You can use it as is and tweak it. You can change what a button says or what it does or whether it exists or not. Or you can completely tear the thing apart and put it together in totally different ways. And you can do that yourself, or you can use our marketplace partners that can do that through one-click install. So we've been working with Lyft for many, many years now, and over the last few months, we've been working very closely with them on Flex. And Lyft have this team they call the Assisted Service Design Team. And they're focused on making sure that when drivers reach out for help, they get the best possible driver experience. Their goal is, how do we get people to spend as much time driving and as little time dealing with challenges of account setup and all of the other process pieces that need to happen in the background. And I'm sure you all know Lyft, so I'm not going to give you the background of how ride-sharing works. But where we picked up was, how do we take the many, many thousands of agents that Lyft have, and how do we give something that can make the experience much more efficient? The particular thing that they wanted to solve was, when someone calls in, to begin with, whatever they're calling in about it or interacting with, it's very easy to use Flex routing engine to route that to the best possible person that can take that interaction. But what Lyft want to do is, in that same interaction, see if there's anything else that can be solved, so that the driver doesn't have to call in again, or Lyft don't have to reach out and create another interaction. But the challenge is, that person may not be the ideal person to solve that interaction. So how do we use AI to turbocharge that person, to give them superhuman powers to know exactly how to help someone, even if it's maybe something that they've never helped with before? And that's what we're doing. So we worked with our friends at Lyft, and we took their entire knowledge base of all of the help tutorials that they have for their agents, and we plugged them into Google Contact Center AI and trained a knowledge base on that. And then we set about doing the integration and seeing how much we could do. So just before we dive into the live demo, I want to give you a bit of an overview of what's going on, and then we'll code it live. So what happens is, when an agent calls in, when a driver calls in, it hits the Flex application platform. Flex loops that call over to Google Contact Center AI, so it's in the media path. Now, in this particular interaction, we're not doing any IVR, we're not doing any bots, we're just getting Google into the media path so we can do the real-time analysis on the media stream. So Google send that call straight back to Flex. We've done a bit of work to keep track of state so that we can keep that session interaction. And Flex creates a task for that and finds the best appropriate agent for that initial interaction that's come in. Now, when the agent accepts the call, we tell Google, OK, an agent is now on this call. And what we wanted to do was have real-time information streaming to that agent, so that the moment Google detects anything, we can push that to the agent UI. The default API for this is a REST API into Google to check if there's any suggestions. So we actually took that and pushed it instead into Google Cloud Pub Sub, so that we can be streaming suggestions in real time. So the suggestion updates from Google Contact Center AI go into Pub Sub, updates straight into Flex, which updates the task, and then updates the agent UI. And so that's a bit of back and forth that you have to do. There's really 4 steps that you have to do. You have to get the call into Google. You have to train the knowledge base. You have to work with the pub sub mechanism to stream the updates live. And then you have to build those updates into the agent UI so you can show it to the agent. So anyone want to see us make this work and show this live? So we did a little bit of basic setup first. We did the Flex quick start deploy, which I said takes about 10 seconds. We did a little bit of Lyft branding. And we did the boring and simple things of looping the call back and forth to Google because it's a couple of lines of code. And we thought we'd keep the interesting and typically harder things to do. So we have the default Flex agent UI here. So at the moment, we're in an agent. There's also supervisor and admin interfaces and everything else. And I'm just going to get a call in to begin with, just so that we can show you what it looks like before we've added the components and before we've added the capabilities. So what happens is Patrick is logged in to the agent UI. And when a call comes in, he's actually taking that call in the browser and using WebRTC. It's been routed to him. Everything is set up and ready. And if we'll resize it a little bit so you can see two columns. We've got a task list view on the left and then the communications canvas here. That's the default experience before you've done anything. OK? So far, so straightforward, so out of the box. I'll hang up. Let's see some code. So we are starting here with a very basic React component. And so Patrick is writing the code to create a Google suggestion component. And we're going to add it to that second column in the UI, the communications canvas. So literally all he's done is create the component and call the render method. And then in the code for the Flex contact center itself, he has attached that component into the DOM. So this is regular React. This is not some proprietary thing. This is regular React, and you can use it to interface with the Flex interface. You can play with any of the React components that are part of Flex. You can bring your own. You can use our Redux state store and extend it. You can bring your own Redux state store. And so now, when I call in, you can see we've now added this component into the bottom of the comms canvas, article suggestions. Took a few lines of code to add any React component into there. Now, we haven't hooked it up to anything yet, so it doesn't do anything at all, which is possibly not the most exciting demo. So let's actually hook it up to something and make it a little bit more interesting. So to hook it up to something, we're going to need the state. So we're going to connect our new component, our Google suggestion component, into the Flex Redux store so that we get the state, so that every time Google is pushing us an update and we're pushing it down to the UI, our new component, our proprietary component that's got nothing to do with Twilio, gets that state and can take it. And then we're going to inherit the state from the super. And we're just going to add an attribute as to whether an article has been selected, yes or no. And then we're going to implement the React method should component update to define our rules as to when we want to update this. So we do want to update it if we have new articles. Google is constantly telling us if there's something new. So if it detected something, and then we talk about something mundane, and it doesn't detect something, we want to keep it on the current article suggestion. So we're going to have some code in here to say, don't change it if nothing's actually changed. And then we're going to do some did mount and unmount functions so that if someone's chosen something, we don't change it underneath their feet. And if you complete a task, that we reset the capabilities back to scratch. OK, so you can see as Patrick is writing that code and saves it, we're running in localhost, so it automatically Webpack recompiles, and the code changes work immediately. And we've got a call coming in. And so now we are connected. We've connected the component to the Redux state store. And in theory, everything should work.
Audio time. I guess let's start our conversation.
Well, let's start a conversation. So I said that typically this is really for at the end of an interaction to see if there's anything else going on. So we are going to pick up from where I think I'm the driver, Patrick's the agent. I think I'm about to hang up. All right, thank you so much. Thanks for helping me with that. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for jumping onto the call with us over here. I did notice something a bit strange about your account, though, while I've got you on the line. I've noticed that your insurance card seems to be about to expire. Have you gone ahead and renewed your insurance?
Yes, I did, actually. Thanks for reminding me. I did update my insurance, and I did everything, and I submitted my insurance card online. And I think I did everything, but it doesn't seem to have updated.
OK. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. So now, ordinarily, as an agent from Lyft, if I was handling certain sets of work, I wouldn't necessarily know how to go update this. But now that we've got this nice little article pop over here, I can go ahead and pop this open and see and walk through basically these issues to go update this. So I noticed that it doesn't quite meet the market matrix requirements for your market. You're in Los Angeles, which has very specific requirements around insurance there. So I'd recommend going back to your insurance agent over there and getting on ride-sharing endorsements there. So.
All right, great. Thank you very much. OK, that's all it took. So hopefully that shows you, with the power of APIs, the power of what Google have done with Contact Center AI, that we can take an out-of-the-box contact center that works with all of these channels, all of these capabilities, and you with just regular React coding skills. Nothing proprietary, can do all of these integration on both the back end and the front end and make the whole thing work. We wanted to show you that this is not technology that is reserved for just vendors or just something for demos, but that this is something that any developer can do, and that if you take your contact center roadmap into your own hands, this is not a build versus buy. You can do everything out of the box, but you have complete control. We think developers are going to change the world. We can't wait to see what you build. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. This was the demos that we had planned for you. I think we have a few minutes to answer questions. So I'd like to invite our co-presenters to come on stage. Also, in the meantime, please round of applause for the audio and the video folks in the back of the room.